This, of course, is the Cold Steel Adam Demko AD15. This is a absolute monster knife, but it is a spectacularly well built, well designed one. There are just a couple things that I think are kind of weird for me, and I don't know, maybe they just wanted to differentiate themselves from the Adam Demko version. But what pocket hating sadist decided to put this texturing on this tool? Oh my god! If I use this for any amount of time, my pockets would be completely gone. The amount of texturing on this G10 is off the charts. This really shouldn't be on anything other than maybe hiking boots. Okay, that's how much texturing is on this knife. So I know that the original version of the 8010 has less aggressive, 8015 has less aggressive texturing. So I very much like to see something similar than this, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who said it. There's only one other issue that I have with this particular knife, and it's mostly a preference thing. And that is because it has detent that is insane. It's actually the strongest detent I've ever felt on a folding knife by any stretch. And it's stronger than the one on the SR1 Lite. It's stronger than the one on the Voyager. Like, it's way stronger than any triad lock I've had. And I don't understand quite why that's necessary. But you see that ramp right there? That is a seriously strong detent. And with the amount of spring tension, it makes it a little bit more difficult than it probably needs to be to open this knife. There's only one other critique, but it's a very minor one. Is that the jimping on here is incredibly sharp on the sides. It's not the end of the world, and it's something I can correct very easily. What I love about this knife, though, I gotta say, is how fidgety it is, while also knowing that it's incredibly secure. The strength of this lock is pretty insane, and when you're holding it as well, you're adding yet an additional layer of security. Without movement of this piece, it is impossible for this knife to be closed. As you can see, this thing has already bit me a couple times, and that just means that it's love at first sight here for me. And it's because I was trying to figure out how to close it one-handed very quickly, and of course this blade drops very well, so you need to be aware of that if you're playing around with the knife. This knife is going to pair very well with smaller utility knives, kind of like something like the Leatherman style or Skeletool would be a really good match for this particular knife, just because you may not want to pull this monster out every single time you want to open up a package for somebody or something like that. But I love it. I love it because this is my slot for full size, almost fixed blade-esque knife, and yeah, this is a fantastic knife. There's other knives that I think pair well with it, so let's pull it out of my Volt case and we'll talk about those in just a sec. So here we have my Volt case, and inside we have a whole bunch of different knives. But the cool thing I like about this size and this style of knife is that it pairs really well with the ultra slicey knives such as the Spidey Chef, the Benchmade 940, and so on. They kind of provide different functionality, but probably the best match is something even smaller in the utility style frame. So this is a Fragment by Evolve. It's also made in S35VN, and it has that really good draw cutting tip. So this would be a really good knife to pair with the 8015, and it's also small enough you can fit it, almost anywhere. Whereas the 8015, it has limited places you can put it. Yeah, for pairing, definitely the 8015 with something like a Skeletool. This would be probably a perfect match. And the other thing I like is because the Skeletool has the carabiner, which I do kind of keep it on a loop on my belt. It doesn't make any noise. And then I have one-handed access to that and this without them kind of stopping each other from functioning properly. That's kind of, I just love it. And I knew that before I even got it, that's how I would be carrying the 8015. And I love it. It's just a fantastic knife, fantastic blade. I mean, it's a Demko. And Eventually, I'd love to get my hands on an AD20, but until that point, this is going to have to do. I am, however, going to make some modifications to this tool in the near future. So I will show everyone what I do to that. And I won't destroy it, but I am going to improve it, I hope.